Hello and welcome to year 2021. Or at least I hope that it has changed by the time this video comes out. Not really sure because I'm still living in 2020 while doing this video. Now why I'm even doing this video for previewing 2021 is kind of a stupid to begin with. It's granted. Because really nobody knows what it's gonna take a look like, how it's gonna look like. My point is why to do this video in replacing this with replacing the regular preview video with this one is more like taking a brief look to early weeks of 2021, and by that I am kind of taking back to my earlier preview videos in December, maybe even late November, when I was talking about the early interesting release in 2021. Now, to me, it seems like 2020 was a good record year. That is, lots of good albums came out, and my final lists of the best of 2020 are probably already out, and there will be more about like best of the albums, best of the decade albums, and even more best of 2020, like missed gems. I have at least planned in the works, so to speak, later on, because obviously you always keep missing albums. But about 2021, it seems like we're gonna have an interesting year also, because what I've been listening to a few releases already of January and February releases, it seems like we have some really interesting releases coming out. Now, I'm not gonna get into details because it's kind of a pointless, that's why reviews are for, but I've already mentioned albums like or bands like Yoth Iria doing the debut album finally in 2021. January was supposed to be already in December last year, and I am really stoked about that. Also, the new Therion album, really happy about that. They're going back to what they were doing the best, the best era of Therion anyway. And then we have bands like The Crown doing a new album, which already sounded quite powerful and energetic. I mean, I've never been a big fan of the band, but the last one before this one, a couple of years ago, when I was listening on my headphones on my way to Helsinki or something, and I was like, man, how come this band, sounds so much more powerful nowadays than before? And now it seems like with the new album, the band is really keeping up the level. It seems like some of the older bands are actually making better releases now than previously. Also, that applies to some newer bands like Athuric doing a new album in January, I think. And the previous ones, while they were totally okay, it seems like the band is pushing the bar even further. That is doing a better album than the previous ones. So in my personal experience, with only a handful of albums already out, well, not out, but out as a promotional copies, it seems like we're gonna have a very strong following, a successor to 2020, that is 2020. All in all, it seems like while coronavirus did a lot of bad shit, that is when it comes to cancelled gigs, fests and whatnot, and everything beyond music industry or music scene, it seems like at least bands have been pushing up their pace. I mean, obviously a lot of these music has been written prior to 2020, but I can't stop thinking that this year, when everybody is more or less forced to stay home, or at least, not to travel, it seems like bands have maybe pushed a little bit extra effort in their releases, because after all, it's not like they're touring or doing gigs here and there, etc. So they probably have extra leisure time, which then again might have been used in polishing the final product, if you will, or even more so, maybe there's extra time for the post-production phase, like deciding which tracks you're gonna put on an album, or maybe extra time in mixing and mastering. I really don't know. I am just guessing, but I can't stop thinking that there is no good sides to that. And obviously some albums have been made during 2020 which are gonna be out in 2021. So there might have been even more so even these kind of songwriting parts as well. So can't really complain. I don't know what's going to happen in March, April, or beyond that, obviously. So I'm merely talking about these first 2 months. And like I said, I've only gone through a handful of releases so far. And already I'm feeling like there's going to be plenty of good albums. So obviously I hope to get those reviewed for you as soon as possible. But as the game always is, I am getting a lot of these copies late. That is, in essence, it means most likely most of the stuff I'm gonna feature on the channel in January and February are gonna be 2020 releases, and only later on the 2021 will be taking its place slowly but steadily as the new albums come out. And of course I will be doing these classic reviews in 2021 as well, so you will have some kind of Saturday specials going on with some of my favorite albums. It's gonna be a little bit a different start for this year because, you know, going through the past decade with some of my favorite albums. I know there will be a lot of surprise titles for you people out there, and it's gonna be boring in the sense that I'm gonna be releasing way more best of release lists rather than just all kind of opinion videos on Saturdays. But once those lists are good and done for, more opinion videos in the classic sense of Rauta will be present there. So all I guess I could say is that have a very good 2021. Let's hope that this year will be better in terms of gigs, fests and Corona. But if not, maybe even more good albums will be taking place this year as well. So meanwhile, listen to some good music, and should you have any questions to me or related to the channel, please do drop them in the comment section, because I will be doing a new Ask Me Anything video later on. I'm actually collecting questions as we speak. So once I have a bunch of questions, I will be doing a video on answering your questions and what goes in your mind and all that stuff. And that's pretty much of it. Have a good 2021.